Hello guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to another Mars King reading. So today isn't necessarily a tarot reading, or at least it's not the main course of this reading. Today is a candle wax reading, alright? Messages from the underworld. So we have two piles, or not piles, I guess two candles to select from. We got like this gray candle. It doesn't look gray, well, at least to my eyes it doesn't, but it is gray. This gray candle, and then we have this yellow candle. Alright. It shouldn't be that hard to pick a candle. I don't even think I'd have to do like a resonance. I don't have to do some type of like resonance for you to be able to select what candle you want. Alright. Anyways, we're just going to get into candle number 1. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, collective number 1. You guys selected the gray candle. So, what messages do you have from the underworld that you need to hear right now? I don't know where to put the lighter. I guess I'll put it right here. Okay. So, what messages do you have? Hopefully my smoke detector doesn't go off. I don't think it should. Like, it's not that serious. I mean, yeah, there is a little bit of some smoke going off here, but I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be okay. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Let me. Okay. Okay, I had to turn on my fan. So that should minimize like the smoke, or at least dissipate the smoke a little. I feel like one of the messages from the underworld speaks of like fingerprints. Fingerprints of God. The fingerprints of God. Some people refer to, I guess, like synchronicities, like numerical synchronicities, as fingerprints from the spirits or the divine. And I see a woman's head here, a mother. Someone's in a very fertile era, an era of great fertility. But I feel like the darkness that we're seeing in this wax is kind of representative of some people think that humans have dark matter in them. From what I remember, it's like something I saw. My father showed me one of them goddamn conspiracy videos, you know what I mean? It was something about like humans having like dark matter in them, you know what I mean? And I feel like this dark matter in this case is kind of talking about like acceptance, accepting a deeper part of yourself that you may not understand, that may confuse you. The synchronicities are telling you to come into acceptance with this part of yourself. And I feel like there's a lot of support that is reaching out to you, that is leading you down your path, that is leading you exactly where you need to go at this current point in time. Maybe it's kind of like, maybe there's something about tapping into divine feminine energies. Creating. Allowing yourself to be creative, to enjoy creating things without feeling ashamed. Creating despite what people may think. Going after your dreams that people might think is unrealistic. And spreading your message to people who need to hear it. Allowing yourself to cry as well. I feel like for some it's kind of like, and this is only for some people, I feel like some men think that they cannot be emotional or cry or feel upset because of, these unrealistic standards that society have set for, a man's mentality and mental health. But you can cry. Crying is not a feminine thing, it's a human thing. Someone's talking to you in your sleep. Someone is talking to you while you sleep. I don't know who this person is. We might read into it. It probably is a spirit guide. But like right over here, I'm seeing that imagery. Someone's talking to you while you are asleep. And they could be like a grandfather or someone masculine. But they have things to say. And the only time they can come communicate with you is through sleep. Or like I said, the numerical sequences. Angel numbers. If you will. Also storms. So like set energy, Oya energy. Facing the storm. If you are struggling right now, you will get through it. Everything will be okay. Perhaps the storm is representative of, I guess, a spiritual awakening. Before we go through another awakening process, we must have a storm. Because the storm will reveal things that you need to know. It will reveal things that call to you, that are deep in your soul. Okay, I'm gonna burn myself. I wish I had like tongs or something like that to hold this candle. Let me see if I have something in my drawer. Okay, I have nothing in my drawer. What if I use like a receipt? That would be a terrible idea because it would catch on fire. I could like stuff a knife inside the like bottom tip of the candle. I know. This is barbaric. It's insane. This is dangerous. Like my fingers near this knife like that. How did this even manage to go down? The pure chaos in this reading, like the light falling down. I'm so happy that the candle was not lit when it did that. That was very insane. But look, I got the candle propped up on the knife. I might adjust the light because I'm feeling a little bit nervous after that happened. I don't like that, especially if I have like a flame that's going on. Why is this thing stuck? Yeah, I don't know what that was, but that was pretty crazy. Okay, well. Slide this boy again. Yikes. This is violent. Kind of insane. Anyways. To see is to understand, I heard. The path is speaking to you. It's speaking to you through visions. this spiritual awakening is happening through visions. The visions that you're seeing are revealing things to you. And you must trust these you must trust these visions, right? That kind of looks like a cat, the top of its head. So perhaps some type of like cat spirit guides. But it also looks like it looked like it had a mermaid tail. So perhaps you will be able I feel like you'll be able to connect to some of your spirit guides after having a cleanse at the beach or some type of water environment. Because I feel like I can consider cats a very intuitive spiritual animal, right? They're very powerful, very smart, very connected to the spiritual world. All animals are. Okay. That's the end of that chaos. Okay. Let's see if I can see anything else on here, because there's probably things that I'm missing. Okay. Yeah, but I do feel like cats are animals in general, but I'm talking about cats in particular because, you know, the spirit guide or your spirits might appear in cats. Like if you see a certain cat, you know, a stray, it might be a spirit guide. I feel like if you go to the beach or go to some type of water or even take some type of spiritual bath, you'll feel so much more cleansed. And you'll be able to think more clearly. I also see you in a cloak. You do not look concerned. You actually look happy. I feel like you're whispering to someone. I know this might sound crazy, but if you've done some type of like spell work on someone, it was successful. Perhaps it could also be like asking someone for some type of favor, some type of spirit, some type of Goshen deity for a favor. And they have listened and they're thinking about it. If you asked for a favor from some type of spirit or deity, they were thinking about it. Perhaps they just don't know right now. Maybe it's just like they don't usually. Maybe there's something about your request that is not usual to them. Something surrounding it. I don't know what that is. But they don't seem, you know, angered by it. They're just thinking about whether they should do it or not. And I really do feel like there's an emphasis on really like allowing your shadow to come through. Okay, let's see about that person that was talking to you in your sleep. Oh wait, I feel like I have some cards out from this deck, so then I'm missing cards. Okay, I haven't used this deck. Okay, so who is this person who's talking to you in your sleep? Who is talking to... What are we gonna call it? Collective number one? Let me move this deck. This deck stuff. Who's talking to collective number one while they're asleep? And what messages do they have? Who is talking to collective number one while they're asleep? Who's talking to collective number one while they're asleep? What messages do they have? What messages does this messenger have for pile number one? For collective number one? What messages does this messenger have for collective number one? What messages does this messenger have for collective number one? Okay. Like I said, there's storm's energy in your reading. Okay, so the messenger. This is the messenger's cards, and then this is their message for you. I feel like you guys can't see, so let me just move some of the stuff over. Because I don't think you guys can see what is going on here. Okay, so this messenger, I feel like can shapeshift into different people. I don't think they are like necessarily, I don't think they necessarily take one form. Probably because it's restrictive to them. So I don't know if, like I said, they're probably a spirit guide, but this messenger probably shapeshifts. And that kind of reminds me of like Mami Wata, the shapeshifting. I did say that you guys needed to take some time to go to the water because it could do a lot of healing for you and cleansing. But I feel like this messenger likes to shapeshift. Very passionate, very vocal person. A very passionate, very vocal spirit guide, okay? Let me see if you guys can see. Oh, flipping K, you guys can. Alright, so. The message that is coming from this messenger talks about releasing people who do not belong in your life. I feel like you guys are kind of afraid of... You're afraid of losing some people in your life. Even though they don't really help you grow. Even though they kind of take room. But you might be afraid a little bit. Especially because I feel like the path that is calling to you will require some people to go. And you're just going to have to allow them to go. So you're going through kind of a storm era. But storms can be powerful. They can be very amazing. They can create a lot of growth for us. It can awaken us to things that we don't see within ourselves that we need to see. So I feel like there's an awakening era that's going on right now. And when you go down this path, you're going to have to remove people, especially people who are hurting you. Because some of you guys might not even recognize, your self-worth. And I feel like this cycle has been something that's been repeating in lives, okay, with this seasons card, with an Anabaluku. All right, so I feel like you guys need to allow change and remove the people who are not serving you, the people that are hurting you, that aren't, helping you grow. and face these storms. Face the power of the storms, because they're showing you who you are. They're showing you your secrets. They're enlightening you to your gifts, to the magic in your blood, your fingerprints, your DNA. It's a reflection of the nature outside of you. It's a reflection of the universe. It's a reflection of the divine, because you are the divine, okay? I guess we should just pull some further messages from the underworld. I'm like trying to reach for a deck. I guess we'll use the Egyptian gods. What further messages does the underworld have for collective number 1? What further messages does the underworld have for collective number 1? What further messages does the underworld have for collective number 1? Okay. So our further and final messages from the underworld. Okay, you guys are in, like I said, an awakening era, okay? A creation era. Don't be afraid to create. That's why I said during the reading, to allow yourself to create, to be in that feminine energy of creation. But it's also kind of like, don't fear the current awakening that is happening right now. Don't fear where the path is leading you at this current point in time. And with protection, it's like you guys are scared. You feel like the path that's calling to you isn't right. It is. Like, it's calling to you for a reason. You guys kind of feel like you're being misled. You're being led to the right place. Maybe you don't even trust yourself. You should. And I feel like when you go down this path, you'll finally feel like you aren't missing a piece of you, because you guys feel like you're missing something. You feel like you're lacking that deeper understanding of your blood, of who you are. And you will figure that out once you get on this path. Once you awaken to the spirituality that's calling to you. It could be, chaos magic, the storms that you have to face, right? Chaos magic is chaos. It's unpredictable. It's kind of scary, but it isn't really. It isn't really when you actually perform chaos magic, because it isn't how people think it is. People think, you're before your altar, like screaming and throwing shit everywhere. It's like, I mean, if that's what you want, but chaos magic is what you make it. Okay, that's why it's chaotic, because it's whatever rules you create for it. And when you're creating your own rules, when you're following your heart, there's so many things that you will discover about yourself. Okay, you're finally understanding, your blood, what is in your blood, who you are as a person. You will finally be understanding your origins, where you come from. Maybe it's a beginning of your creation of who you are, a beginning of the true you, a beginning of the awakening. All right, beginnings. All right, so I feel like those are the messages from the underworld. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this chaotic little reading, this chaos reading, please subscribe. I'll see you very soon. Take care and goodbye. Hello, collective number 2. You chose the yellow candle. Okay, so what messages does the underworld? I don't know. What messages do the underworld want from it? What messages are coming from the underworld, all right, for you? Becoming stupid mid-reading. All right. So, now it's time to burn the Baphomet's face. No, I'm just joking. Well, I'm not necessarily joking. There's wax hitting his face at this current point in time. Anyway, so I do feel like there is an emphasis on the crown chakra, messages coming through, trusting the messages, trusting your intuition, what is coming to you at this current point in time. stop doom scrolling. It's not helping. Like, I feel you guys are doing too much doom scrolling. Like, it's getting, like, laying in your bed doom scrolling. Stop doing that. Because it's making things worse, is what I'm hearing. Like, you're making things worse for yourself when you do that. I get it, you know what I mean? Like, I have my doom scrolling moments as well, but let's minimize that. Get off TikTok. Maybe delete the app. Maybe just, put a lock on it. But just minimize the doom scrolling, because it is keeping you from hearing some of the spiritual messages coming in. There's a lot of messages, a lot of, I guess, there are sacred things that you need to hear at this current point in time. But you can't hear it if you are locked in on your phone, you know what I mean? So get out in nature. Nature is freedom. Because nothing costs a thing in nature. Nature is where you go be human. Maybe it's time for you guys to just go be human for a minute. Get out in nature and explore nature. Explore what is around you. Explore the messages that are coming in. Maybe some of these messages they have an emphasis on exploring something that might be new to you, that's outside of what is normal to you. That can be kind of scary. Okay, and then I see like someone holding their baby up in the air, like a mother holding their baby. Perhaps there's something powerful that is within, I guess, the inner child. The inner child is a very powerful powerful part of your spiritual mission. You gotta trust him. You gotta trust your inner child, because they have a powerful part in your spiritual journey and in your story. There's so much synchronicities, like so many I guess moments in your childhood that you did not realize. You didn't realize that they were callings, I guess, from the spiritual world. You know what I mean? So look into that. You know what I mean? Some memories that you still have that you may have overlooked. Maybe things that you liked. That would I guess I guess some of these things that you liked as a kid could play some type of part in your spirituality. Like maybe an altar tool, some type of toy being an altar tool, representing one of the elements. That's like, I just heard that. I don't know what type of toy would be of that nature. Maybe some type of like kitchen set toys, you know what I mean? I don't really know, but I just feel like there could be some type of toy that could be like representative of some type of element, or have some type of spiritual powers that you could give to it, like spiritual attributes. I guess what I'm thinking of is being creative with your craft. Being very creative with it. Because there's a lot of fun things that you can come up with. And also things that obviously can be spiritual tools, be very effective spiritual tools. Even if they're like toys or something weird like that, you know what I mean? Toys. Cards can be spiritual tools as well. You know what I mean? We've learned that from tarot. We're able to predict the future and give purpose, give meaning to some of our rituals with our cards. So that was very interesting. Okay, birds. So messengers. Like I said, just stop being distracted. It's about distractions. Perhaps like this weird pocket is kind of reminding me of like eggs. Like an egg. Like where a child, some type of creature, something like that is growing. Let me not burn myself. Gosh. Let me put it on the knife. I'm thinking of an egg. Of where some creature may be growing. Some type of alien. Some monster. You know what? It kind of reminds me of like the monster under your bed. Here, let me not try to stab myself. I was able to do this the last pile. It reminds me of the monster under your bed. When I was a kid, I was really scared of... Well, I wasn't extremely scared, but I was kind of frightened that there was a monster under my bed, but I couldn't like prove it to anyone. You know what I mean? It's like I was kind of scared that there was like some type of like pig demon under my bed. Okay, it like looked piggish or whatever, and I was scared of him. And I just really thought I didn't think he was going to eat me. Okay? Like I didn't necessarily think that, but I just kind of felt like I didn't understand his intentions and it was just weird. So I just kind of like I was like just in case, you know, a demon or something like that, you know, like a piggish shriek. You know, lives beside me at night. Yeah, just in case that happens, I'm going to sleep facing the window. So, you know, if he tries to attack me, I'll be able to fight back. All right, you know what I mean? So I forgot where I was going with that. I think it was the egg, yeah. I feel like some of the monsters that we might be afraid of as kids can be spirit guides. And obviously we don't understand that when we're baby kids, all right? You know what I mean? We don't really get that they're spirit guides because they're just scary to us. We don't understand what we are seeing. But within your childhood, you've always been so connected to the underworld and the other side. And so, you know, therefore, there's so much, I guess, magic and power within, you know, your inner child and childhood that you might be overlooking. And you can reconnect with that magic, that power that can, you know, intensify, you know, your rituals, intensify your spell work. So yeah, reconnecting with your child by by I guess like stepping out in nature. Maybe using, like I said, the toys that you had as a kid as tools in your spiritual practices, and allowing love in your life for some, allowing yourself to be loved and heard and accepted. Some of you guys hide yourself entirely way too much. But that's because it can be really scary to show who you are. Allowing yourself to be kissed by someone. For some, just allowing yourself to be loved and understood. And maybe instead of hiding from, maybe do not hide from those monsters. Maybe the monsters are kind of representative of even just pleasure. Allowing yourself to experience pleasure, allowing yourself to be human. Okay, that's it. Pure chaos. All right. I can't move it. There you go. So, let's look a little bit in depth. What we got going on here. But allowing yourself to be loved is very important. I feel like religion... I'm not saying this because I despise religion, but I'm saying this... I feel like religion is kind of restrictive towards us when it comes to being humans. You know, we can't... Especially like... Well, I'm not gonna damper my intuition. I'm gonna keep going the way it's telling me to go. I feel like especially with like Christianity and stuff like that, I do feel like there's just like a massive emphasis on, you know, sinning. Like if you sin, you will die. If you sin, you're going straight to hell. And then you have to be forgiven by God by having a confessional. Like, just be a human. Like, it's fine to be human. You don't have to constantly be watching your back or worrying, all right? Maybe that's the monster aspect of things. Some of you guys feel like you're just a monster walking this earth. You know, everything you do is wrong. Well, that is not true. And you're allowed to experience love. You're also allowed to blossom and be yourself. To be open, express yourself, be open to expressing yourself towards other people, sharing your truth, sharing who you are, and yeah, allowing love, some type of lover to come in. And yeah, I feel like I just see a lot of love, just cuddling. And it can even be spiritual, cuddling from the other side. Okay. So, should we pull some cards? Final cards from the underworld? I feel like there was like more pure chaos in like the other reading. All right, so what further messages does the underworld have for pile number 2? For collective number 2, that's what I would say. What further messages does the underworld have for collective number 2? Further messages does the underworld have for collective number 2? Okay. Okay, we have a lot of ladies here. Okay, besides Raw. But we have a lot of ladies here. We love ladies over here. All right. Further underworld message. I'm sorry that took quite some time. You got to pull out the right cards, you know what I mean? You got to feel when the card is coming to you. You have to feel when the card is reaching for you, screaming for you, moaning for you. You have to understand when the card needs you, all right? So therefore, I had to continue shuffling till I got the right cards. So, God, why is this microphone shaking? It's just, I live near an airport, so sometimes my room will just start shaking. All right, anyways. So, I guess the further messages is, yeah, there's some type of, I guess, awareness that you are being, sorry. There's some type of awareness. Oh, birds. I said something about birds. Okay, so Raw, yeah, okay. We have birds. We have a lot of birds here, right? Messages. I guess maybe working alongside Raw is something that can be of some type of importance to you, all right? But there is some type of enlightening, awakening, and like I said, it could be found in childhood, even in your most normal days when you're not like expecting it. Like there's messages everywhere coming through, everything everywhere all at once. You know what I mean? I feel like you need to listen to these messages. And like I said, these messages can only reach you. They can only reach you when you are open to them. So you can't like distract yourself. You know, you can't distract yourself with like the Instagram Reels, the TikTok, the YouTubeth Shorts. You can't do that. You can't sit up the Snapchat Spotlight. You can't distract yourself with, you know, the content all the time. You know, maybe after you watch this reading, get off your device and you get some air, all right? And also, it could be about like interacting with the animals outside, okay? The underworld, interacting with animals and the elementals. I remember at like one of the houses I lived at, when I was a junior in high school, like I would like me and my family, we would feed the animals in our backyard. We would put like bread on like the top portion of like the deck, like bread or like nuts or something. And they just all come down and start feasting. That was like our way of like welcoming them to our place. I mean, they started like marking their territory. Sorry, they started like marking their territory. I remember like once I was like walking to like the door because I was about to go feed them, and I just like see one of the squirrels like just taking a piss on our carpet. It's like, hey, you know what I mean? Just staring at me straight in the eyes. It's like, okay. But like I just like we were connecting. Okay, we were friendly. They would just run up on the deck. They would be saying hi to us, and they would just go on about their day. Even like the crows. But connecting with the animals was something that brought a lot of peace, and there was wisdom in that. I was allowing, another part of the world to be alongside me. I was connecting to my human animalistic nature. Okay, my animal part of me. And that brought some healing. It could have also brought some enlightening, all right? Because during that time this was like the summer after my junior year, so technically I was a senior, but it's still kind of like in that area. I was going through my own type of awakening, probably because there was, animals and stuff like that I was in cahoots with, and some of those animals were able to give me messages or help me during that process. Okay, there's so much wisdom within the ordinary world, so much knowledge, okay, that can be found around you, but you have to be open to that knowledge, that wisdom that is speaking to you, especially the knowledge and wisdom that is coming from the underworld, okay, and allowing, just keep going. I feel like there's a message where it's like, keep going, okay, especially like being on this earth. It can be tough. It can be it sometimes can just feel like hell. All right. But it's kind of what you make it. You know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of what you make it. There's things that you can do to alleviate the stress, the pain. All right. And then you can make it look, you can make this hell, the underworld. The underworld that you are coming to messages for now. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the Christian hell. It can be your hell. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be terrible. It can be amazing. It can be fun. It can be divine. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Those are the messages that are coming in. All right. If you enjoyed these messages, all right, suck on these. No, I'm just like, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye.